All right, so right now I'm going to be dismounting this last tire, and I'm sure that all of you know already how to do that. But because it's part of my project, I'm going to be doing a video on it anyway. So for starters, I'm going to use this tool. It's got a rethreader for the inside where the valve core is. It has your valve core removal tool. It has whatever that's for, I'm not actually certain. And then it has the interior um, thread cutter for the valve itself, in case your valve stem cap is not threading on because the threads are a little knurled. That's what all that's for. And this just came in my kit with the tire bars. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this core to deflate the tire. Like that. That's your core right there. It's got a little, now you probably can't see that. That's your valve right there. So you get air in your tire. Now that that is completely broken, what you can do is grab your wrench. In this case, mine is a 14, and in this case, I have metal valve stems. So metal valve stems are less degradable than rubber ones. They last longer, they hold up better. They're less susceptible to ozone and all that. Just shove that in there. I'm not using that again, so I'm not worried about scraping it up. Then I'm going to take this tire to my dismount method. Grab this camera, which is this bar right here. We're going to drop this. Right like that. What that's going to do is I'm going to drive up on it, and it's going to slice that down. It's better to do this with 2 people, but I don't have 2 people. And as that is a bit of a stubborn deal there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tire bar. I'm going to try to help it along. My car is apparently too light for this application. once it's broken on one side, it'll generally be broken all the way around, just like that. Let me back this car off of here. I don't know why I turned that off, because you do have to break the back now. And the backs, and that's right on my center cap. The backs are a lot more difficult in my experience. As you can see, the backs do not like to break as much. On this particular wheel, the barrel, which is this inner part right here, is the barrel. That is pretty uniform all the way from the center to the inner seat. And that makes it really hard to realistically break it. So you kind of just get it mostly broken, and then it's just broken. We can get it off from the other side when we take the front rim off. Helps if you back all the way off the bar too. All right, now what we're going to try to do, and yes, my center caps were already messed up as it is, so I'm really not too worried about that. So what you want to do is, this is my solution. It is just, I don't know, it's about that much water, and then that much just Dawn dish soap. Nothing expensive, nothing, too fancy. Just needs to be soap so you can lubricate stuff. So I'm going to try not to block the vision here. What you're going to try to do, first of all, is make sure that this bead is broke. And you're going to take your water and soap, lubricate that inner rim, lip rim, whatever you want to call it. Grab one of those in there, and ideally, gotta make sure I get this all in frame. Ideally, put yourself, there's a little, kind of hard to see. You can tell in here, this bit right here, this is inside of this little decorative bit right there. That is the track that you're gonna slip, that this is gonna wanna go in when we pull the other side out. So when I stick this spoon in this side to grab that tire, and you're pulling against the seat it ain't gonna come off. When you pull it, as you can see in slow motion, it's lubed, so it's slipping down in there. You'll notice that tire goes down and in to that groove. If it's not doing that, you can pry down on it so that it'll go in there easier. You can put a knee on it, you can put your feet on it. If you do that, pull that up and over. Then you're gonna grab, about 6-8 inches, slide that over. This is why my kit comes with 3. These are just, this was 13 bucks. I may try to leave a description or leave a link in the description. If you can, you might have to get closer. This tire is really old and really brittle, so it doesn't stretch a whole agreeable amount. You can hear the stretch. Get my spoon back. So that's basically how it is. You just walk it around. That front rim or that front lip is out. You can see how nasty that was right there. So now that it's out of that, we got to make sure it's out of this back rim. That's pretty much just a matter of, because now it's not trying to push against the front. There we go. Now that's free. Now the trick with the back is the same as with the front. That lower rim has to go, that lower lip has to go into that channel. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up on the front side, or on your side. Well, actually, what we ought to do, pick it up like this, give it a little wet. That's important. Without this wet, this rubber is not going anywhere. You got to have that wet on there, especially with these old tires. These are, I don't even know how old these are. See the date code. I don't know, but they're old and they're brittle. So this inner, you can see it better. This is the barrel. As you can see, that back rim it's got a little bit of a lip, or a little bit of a hump. It's nothing really special, but that's why you really don't break the back per se, because it doesn't really go that far down. The front you can break because it falls into here. That's there to aid you in removing the tire. So what we're going to do, we're going to pick up on the U side, so that back lip, or that bottom lip, can fall into that inner groove. You're going to slide this inside the tire. You're going to grab that rim, you're going to grab that tire at the bottom on the inside, and you're going to slide it up, and that's going to let you grab that up like that. Now if you want, as this comes up in here, you can grab some more. It doesn't take a ton. Grab some more, and we're really just trying to walk this around to try to get it up over this rim, or this lip rather. And you can try to get your spoon in there again, but this doesn't really give a lot. What you can do is grab one in there like that, spin this around, grab you one of these. This is my brother's. Where's the camera? There you go. Grab one of these. This is my brother's big one. That's a 24-inch general purpose tire iron. His channel is Wrenchant, WRENCHANT. If you want to check him out. But if you slip one of these in here, you should be able to prise this out. You might have to set a foot in here and just reach up on it. It's like, if you're doing this, it's a good idea to have two people, is what I've found. Out, there we go. You're just trying to get that lip to stretch around that, and that one was a lot easier than the last one. Now, you'll give me 1 second. Pardon the wait. I got a new tire. I got some sort of wire brush. And then I've got to grab my new valve core, my new valve stem, sorry. You're gonna need it every time you take a tire off for a repair or change a tire, a new tire, you're gonna want a new stem. Now this is just, it came in a 2-pack, extra seal. This is like $7, $8 for 2. TR416 if you want the number. I got these from O'Reilly's. They have Slime brand at AutoZone. You can get these on Amazon. TR416 fits, looks like 0.453 inch by 0.625 rim holes. And what they mean by rim hole is the rim hole. Now, it comes with 2 different rubbers. You'll notice one rubber is a little narrower than the other one. That's a thicker piece. That's a thinner piece. Now, the reason for that is because you'll have 2 different sizes at least for valve stems. So you just go ahead, and in this case, in my case, these are small. So in this case, you'll just take that off. You'll slide this other one back on. That's the smaller one. Take that cap off. Now, the metal valve stems are a little bit more expensive, but in my honest opinion, I believe it's worth it. It's I don't know, it's $2 more. It's just a better deal. They're gonna last longer. They're less susceptible to damage. They're not gonna break off. I'm gonna put that aside because I have forgotten my tool. So in this case, I have a size 14 box wrench. And I have misplaced my 7/32 Allen key. Give me a dear moment. Now, if I was good at YouTube, I would have gotten my tools lined up before I started filming. But as it happens, I am not good at YouTube, and therefore I did not get all my tools ready before I started filming. Now this is why you get your stuff ready, because I put it in the cabin of the car, not in the boot. So the reason you need a 7/32 specifically for this is because of the back. Now what you're going to want to do is not this yet. if you have an old wheel like this and it's been sitting on there for a while, get some sort of wire apparatus and go ahead and clean up that bead seat. Get as much of that old, go the other way, get as much of that old rubber off as you can. You'll notice that's, that's cleaner than that. That's what we're going for. Get off some rubber, get off the corrosion. It's not going to damage it as long as it's on the inside, but you do want a clean seat so that your tire will sit nice and tight, and you won't lose any air. I'm going to do this side. If you do it like this, apparently, you can clean both surfaces at once. All right, now that that is clean, you can take your bit here, and you'll want to clean that out. In this case, I'm just going to use, it would be better to get some wire cylinders, hole brushes, if you will. I'm just using the tooth on this wire brush. But you want that to have a clean seat, because that is what holds your tire or your air in. That little bit there. Pop it down, make sure it's seated in that hole. You'll take your washer, cup side up like that, and your nut. Slide those on there. Now grab your 14 somewhere. I left it in the car. Grab your 14, grab your 7/32. I just throw this on there and I start twisting on this one. Now you could use a drill. I prefer not to, because you don't want to over torque this, spin off the threads, and go buy another set. And you don't want to over torque them. You should be able to feel when it's good and tight. And if you can see that, the rubber has spread out to occupy that cavity. So now it's sealing on the front face, on the inside face, and it's sealing around the cavity because it's squished. That's intended. These are American racing wheels on a British car. Just clean those up a little bit. All right, so what we're gonna do is throw that down. I'm doing this on an unclean surface, so just be careful you don't have any like stuff down there like pine straw that you're gonna be getting in your tire. So I'm gonna spray this rim down just a bit because we're gotta go over it. I'm gonna take my new tire. Now all 4 of these tires, these are specifically Land Golden LG17s. You can't see it because it's under there. Land Golden LG17s. I got all 4 of my tires shipped to my door, free shipping from Priority Tire. Priority Tire does free shipping, I believe just in general, but they offer quite a few varieties of tires, free shipping to your door, or to a shop so that you can have them installed. Now, anytime you're installing a tire, you want the date code to be on the outside. Oh, that soap is strong. So how you find the date code is you're going to find the DOT. You can't see it up there. You're going to find where it says DOT. There's going to be a couple of numbers there, but this is what you're looking for. There's a little oval, a little raised or sunken oval here, and it's going to have 4 numbers in it. That is the first two numbers is the week the tire was made and the year the tire was made. 43rd week of the year 2025. So this tire is 6 months old. So you've lubed up both rims. You're going to take this and you're going to push it as far as you can onto the rim. You're going to grab your spoon and you're going to stick it in there off to the side somewhere. Try to get you to see it. Your spoon there. You may have to make sure this is inside of your rim there, and it is. Grab that, and you're going to stretch it over. But the date, you got to have the date on the outside. Perks of having a 14-inch tire spoon, you can put it inside of your small car wheels. Land Golden LG17s. I got all 4 of my tires pop that on there to my door, free shipping from Priority Tire. Don't have any pine needles in my way. Priority Tire does, and this is water and soap, so it might dry quick. Free shipping. I'll put a little bit more just in general, but this has got to be the easiest part of mounting a tire. Make sure that's in frame. Grab your spoon, throw it over. Grab another. Hello. When you have that down, that's got to slide into that rim. So I'm gonna sit on it. Just walk these around. Until it fits. And there you are. Then you just put some air on it until all the beads pop out. You've mounted a tire.